Let's start with the fourth part of this book. Okay, new think. A few people come to like the idea of lateral thinking so much that they try to use it instead of vertical thinking on all occasions. Many more people resent the idea of lateral thinking and insist that vertical thinking is quite sufficient. In fact, the two types of thinking are complementary. When ordinary vertical thinking is unable to find a solution to a problem or when a new idea is required, then lateral thinking should be used. New ideas depend on lateral thinking, for vertical thinking has inbuilt limitations which make it much less effective for this purpose. These limitations of vertical thinking cannot be set aside, for they are its very advantages looked at from a different point of view. The functional organization of the mind as an optimizing system makes it interpret a situation in the most probable way. The order of probability is determined by experience and by the needs of the moment. Vertical thinking is high probability thinking. Without such high probability thinking, everyday life would be impossible. Every action and every sensation would have to be intentionally analyzed and carefully considered. Nothing could ever be taken for granted. Like the centipede, confused by self-consciousness, everyone would be incapacitated by complexity. The function of thought is to be eliminate itself and allow action to follow directly on recognition of a situation. This is only possible if the most probable interpretation of a situation gives rise to the most probability effective actions. Just as water flows down slope, settles in the hollows, and it confined to river beds, so vertical thinking flows along the most probable path, and by its very flow in vertical thinking is high probability thinking, then lateral thinking is low probability thinking. New channels are deliberately cut to alter the flow of the water. The old channels are dammed up in the hope that the water will seek out and take to new and better pattern of flow. Sometimes the water is even sucked apart in an unnatural fashion. When the low probability line of thought lead to an effective new idea, there is a eureka moment, and at low probability approach requires the high